how do you make visualization so immersive that it has to come true, that there's just no room for it not to happen? Hi, my name is Leah Chantel. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm talking about visualizing something so it must come true in our reality, and there's just no other room for it to not happen. And here's the interesting thing about visualization. People resist visualization and think, oh, it's not going to happen, therefore I'm not even going to try. But I think the biggest part of visualization is just allowing yourself and trusting yourself to go into that state. I think we build up a lot of negative reactions to visualization because at one point we did trust ourselves and we did visualize something that we wanted to come true, and then we had some sort of negative experience. The visualization didn't happen the way that we expected, and then we lost faith in the process, and that's why we don't visualize anymore. So how do you get that faith back? How do you continue to visualize something into existence when you've been burned in the past? So it depends. So there are always reasons why sometimes things don't work out, and you just may not know what that reason is yet. So you may need to put your visualization on hold until you feel confident that you understand the life lessons about why it didn't work before. Sometimes that's the right approach to certain visualizations. But what if something's been on the back burner for a while and it's really time to let it go? Maybe you had a narcissistic relationship and you've taken a couple of years to heal from that, but it's really time and you feel ready to go look for a new partner. How do you let that go, and how do you visualize the new partner coming into existence? Well, here's one thing about visualization that people sometimes get wrong, is that they visualize having some kind of assistance that's inappropriate in order for their visualization to happen. So when we believe in fairy tales, like the prince comes and sweeps you off your feet, the problem with those is it sets up kind of an expectation for our romantic relationships that aren't really realistic to happen. But we hold those subconsciously and we can't let go of them. And so when those romantic idealizations don't happen when we're trying to date in our day-to-day lives, we become disappointed. And so you have to develop new strategies and new disciplines around relationships that actually work and are practical in day-to-day life, rather than hang on to those old fairy tales. And we can go back to them sometimes by default if we just haven't thought about what we really want in terms of our relationships or how to go about it in a long time, and we're just a little bit rusty. Sometimes we go back to these old primitive assumptions by default and we don't even realize it. It's sort of like taking a cleansing, energetic shower every now and again. We have to be really aware of how we perceive things and what we really want and what our expectations are when we're going out to manifest things, and are they really realistic? Like when I say let's go find a partner, that's such a broad statement, but what does a partner look like to you? Like, how do you imagine them showing up? Does that mean a person who shows up on time? Does that mean somebody who proposes to you and gives you a ring? Does that mean somebody you end up having children with and raising a family with? Or does it mean having a really good playmate that maybe you live in separate homes and you see from time to time and have a really good time together? A lot of people have a view of relationships where that's really what they want, especially as they get comfortable in their own lifestyle and having their own place. They don't really want to share a home with a partner, and that's okay. But we need to become aware of who we are and what our expectations are in order to have real success in that area of our lives. So that's why writing down a list of ideally what we want from a partnership, I know that sounds like such a traditional exercise that everybody recommends. It's like list all the qualities of your ideal partner. But the thing about doing that is that it makes you aware of maybe what romantic ideals you're holding in the back of your mind and if they're appropriate or not, or what your real needs are today. Maybe they don't match, and so you need to come up with a list to figure out what's really important to you and What do you need to prioritize when you're getting to know new people? And at the same time, when you're also getting to know a new person, you need to be aware of your own priorities, but you also have to pay attention to their priorities too and see if they mesh. Sometimes relationships can have very good intentions behind them from both people, but they don't really come together because they have different values and priorities in their lives. And so the relationship naturally just ends. And it may have been even a healthy relationship, but somebody needs to move for a job opportunity, or somebody wants to have children and the other person doesn't. And after that juncture where they find that out, then the relationship naturally comes apart. And that's okay, actually, when those things happen. That's very natural and very normal. And we shouldn't be disappointed when these things happen, because that's just part of life, and it's better to have these things happen than to be trapped in an unhealthy relationship where you're unhappy. Anyway, I've been going on a lot about manifesting relationships, but what if it's something like manifesting a business that you're trying to visualize? Well, you need to think about what that business involves. So I really recommend with business, there's so much stuff about business on YouTube, and though your business probably doesn't look exactly the same as another content creators, if you watch and see what they do for their business and how hard they're working and the kinds of things they need to do day in and day out, that'll give you a real sense of whether having a business is actually right for you. I mean, having a business can be an amazing thing because you're in control of your income and you don't have a boss. But at the same time, your customers are kind of like your bosses, you know? You need to follow what they need, or maybe sometimes you make a choice and you don't, you know, it depends. But you have to have very specific reasons as to why you're going in the direction that you're going as a business owner and a creator. And so you need to really visualize what that looks like, and you need to think about how committed and how dedicated you are in order to make that business work. Businesses involve typically a lot of time and energy, unless you're very lucky and you find a specific niche that hasn't been discovered yet. You might do that, so it's good to stay open to that. But having said that, usually it takes time and energy to build something, and discipline. Like, for example, most businesses need you to post on social media because that requires basically your ability to market and find new clients online, right? That's one of the best places to go fishing for people who are looking for a specific product, but then you need to know how to do that. You need to know how to post consistently and create content that's engaging for people and gets their attention. I heard once that somebody was saying we're shifting away from an oil-based economy that used to be our old economy model, and now we're focused on an attention-based economy. So rather than oil being the raw commodity that we really need, it's now shifting over to attention. And I think that's so true. You know, we have to find ways to get people's attention and to serve them and give them something of value. And then basically that's when they can come back and respond to us and assist us as a business owner. But we have to be the one who gives first. And we often have to be the one that gives way more than we receive back in proportion in terms of payments. So that's just how it is as a business owner. If you're the type of person who wants to do the minimum and get paid, business is probably not right for you, right? So, but you'll find that out if you do your research and you look at other people doing it and you're really interested. You will start learning these truths for yourself, and you'll start realizing if it's a good fit for you or if you want to go into business for yourself or not. So in order to visualize something imminently, we have to have examples. And the amazing thing about the internet and the way business works and the way the world works nowadays is there's examples everywhere. You don't have to be limited to the people around you. People around you might be very narrow-minded and disagree, but all you have to do is look on YouTube and you can find like how many people to follow you can model and learn from. It's just crazy the amount of resources that are out there nowadays. We're really living in an age of abundance and in an age of learning. And as long as you're willing to work and you're willing to learn, the opportunities are endless. It's just a matter of learning and figuring things out. And if you have a spiritual sense and you use your intuition, then you're going to have a competitive edge over everyone else. And that's why I advocate for intuition so much. But the bottom line for visualization is some people think it's like you're going into this transcendental state and like you have to meditate and listen to music, and those things are good. They can be supportive. But the truth is, you just have to really remind yourself of your goals and keep that image of whatever you're trying to create in the forefront of your mind, and do it consistently on a daily basis, maybe even 3 or 4 times a day. Remind yourself of what you're trying to do and who you're trying to become, and then all the tasks and all the things that you need to do in order to create that reality really fall into place. Having said that, you shouldn't just become something because somebody else told you it was a good thing. Whatever you want to become, it should be authentic to you and your heart. So when you visualize freely and without abandon, whatever it is you're meant to become will come into your mind. And also your dreams are really great to record and pay attention to as well, because they're going to give you hints as to what direction to go as well. And spirits, I believe, send symbols in your dreams. So pay attention to that too. So these are the ways to exercise your visualization muscles and constantly remind yourself of what you're working towards. And if you follow these tips, then you're going to find yourself manifesting a lot faster. How do you visualize? Do you see it like a movie, or is it black and white? Or do you visualize mostly by hearing something rather than seeing something, or through different senses? I'd be really curious to understand how other people visualize. I tend to see things like a big movie screen. I'm a pretty visual person, but I also understand that not everybody visualizes the same way. So it would be really cool to find out how other people are visualizing their dreams into existence. I hope you're all having an amazing week, and take care. Bye now.